All right, so everybody have in there solving quadratics by factoring. Again, we had kind of broke it down into two worksheets. All right, so again, the first thing I want to ask you is this. If you're going to understand something, all right, I want everybody to look up, look up, look up. If I said this, if I said to you that x times y is equal to 0, what has to be true? If x times y is equal to 0, what has to be true? Yes, that's how simple the lesson is. One of them has to be 0. All right, either x is 0 or y is 0. Technically, could they both be 0? Yeah, because they're different variables. All right, but we're going to be dealing with one variable. All right, so again, I want everybody to look at question number 2. All right. Now, with question number 2, either one of these factors has to be equal to 0. So you would say m minus 5 equals 0, m minus 2 equals 0. I want everybody to write that down. Now, of course, after you write that down, m, if you solve that equation, you would just say m equals what? 5, or m equals what? 2. Now, what exactly does that mean? That means if I were to plug 5 in for m, the answer to this equation would equal what? 0. All right? That's all there is to it. All right? Or if I let m equal 2 and I plug it in, it will also equal what? 0. Now, the reason why this was so powerful is because right now you only know how to solve something if it's x. Now you know how to solve something if it's x squared or even x cubed. All right? So the rule here is set the factors equal to 0 and solve. Set the factors equal to 0 and solve. All right? That's the answer number 2. What? All right, grab somebody, let them help you real quick. Come on. While you guys are doing that, all right, I want you to scroll down to question number 4. All right. Hold on 1 second. Now, again, all we're doing is we're setting the individual factors equal to 0. So we're going to write again, 9p minus 27 equals 0, 5p plus 3 equals 0. Now, once we're at that step, you solve the individual equations. So I'm going to do what? Add 27. So 9p equals 27, and now I'm going to do what? Yeah, p equals 3. On the other side, 5p equals negative 3, so p is equal to what? Negative 3/5. All right? It's very simple. Set factors equal to 0, solve the individual factors. It's usually a two-step equation, nothing to it. So that means if I plug 3 in, I will get 0. If I plug negative 3/5 in, I will get 0. All right? So let's look at number 6. Set them equal to 0. 2n plus 8 equals 0. 7n plus 35 equals 0. Now again, guys, this should be mental math. All right? Everybody should be able to look at 2n plus 8 equals 0 and just say n equals what? Negative 4. If you can't do that, you're way behind. Subtract 8, divide by 2. All right, or n could equal negative 5. That's it. Simple. All right. Now, number 8. What?
I said negative. Oh.
Right, you're solving a two-step equation. All right. Number 8. 4 t plus 5 equals 0. 2t minus 5 equals 0. So again, t equals what? Negative 5 over 4. Or t equals what?
Negative 5 over 2.
5 over 2. You're adding 5 and dividing by 2. All right, just like the other one, you're subtracting 5 and dividing by 4. What?
Do you have to like 4t plus 5?
Well, this is just technical. All right. So last one, number 10. All right, so for number 10, we set 7y plus 4 equals 0. 6y plus 1 equals 0. So y equals what? Good. Negative 4 over 7. Y equals what? Now, I keep trying to tell some of you guys who want to do better. All right, your job is to try to tell me the answer. You let the same people do the problems. All right, try that yourself. If all you're doing is writing down the answers, you're not learning. All right, you should know that. Going to high school pretty soon. All right, you got to be able to learn. If you don't know something, speak up. Right? You good on that? Anybody have any questions? All right, so that's just the basics. All right, now, my worksheet. Here we go. What's the problem now? We have to what? You have to factor it. It's not factored. Right? If you know how to factor, this is what? Easy. If you don't know how to factor, this is a nightmare. All right, that's why I'm trying to tell some of you guys. Come on. All right, start now. Some of you guys who made a B minus or whatever, you can make an A. You're almost there. Just requires a little more practice, that's all. And one additional step. So here we go. 2 sets of parentheses. How do I make 6x squared? 3x and 2x. Middle factors of 12. 4 and 3. Where do I want to put the 4? On the left. It can't be with the 2. So I put a 4 here and a 3 here. Is that the answer? How much is this?
It is 12 or 8.
How much is that? Is that 17?
Yes.
If they're both what?
Positive.
If they're both positive. So now we factored. Does everybody agree with that? So because we factored, now all we have to do is set the factors what? Equal to 0. All right, so if you know how to factor, this should be easy. So 3x plus 4 equals 0. 2x plus 3 equals 0. X equals negative 4/3, or x equals negative 3 over 2. Once you get the factoring done, it's just look at it and tell me the answer. Correct? Come on, Miss Schulzman. You got that? Thomas? All right, here we go. Number 4. Let's factor. Here we go. 5x, 2x. Where does the 2 have to go? On the left. Where does the 1 go? Smiley face. What do we got? 4 and 5. So what do we have? Hello?
2 is
Hello? Yeah, he's leaving, right? Ian, you're out. All right, so here we go. So we said the 5 we want to be positive, right? So if we want the 5 to be positive, it's over here, and this is a negative over here. Is everybody okay with this? All right, so now, again, we're just going to set the factors equal to 0. Come on, 5x minus 2, 2x plus 1. Now look, everybody should be able to tell me x equals what?
2 over 5.
X equals 2 over 5. X equals negative 1/2. All right, number 6. I'm going to walk around the room, double check you. Factor number 6, quickly. Let's go, chop chop. Good. No.
You can't move here. Because it's got one. Now, you're small. Yep. So what? No, that will make that negative 2. Figure it out. Just change it. So you have to be plus. You have to be minus. Because that would be what? 10 minus 9. Now, 7 equals 0. You understand?
All right, 15 has to be what? 5x and 3x. Now with 3 and 2, where does the 3 have to go? On the left, and 2 goes on the right, so I'm making 9 and 10. Yes, there you have it. Hey, Liesel, you all right back there? You know what you're doing? Set the factors equal to 0. 5x minus 3 equals 0. 3x plus 2 equals 0. X equals 3/5, or x equals negative 2/3. Everybody hearing me? All right, are you ready to put a little star by number 8? What do I notice right off the bat? There's a common what? 3. Does everybody agree? So I have to divide everything through by what?
3.
I have to divide everything through by 3. Notice what I'm doing. Dividing by 3, dividing by 3, dividing by 3. Because 0 divided by 3 is still what? 0. So x squared plus 11x plus 10 equals 0. Now at this stage you should be able to look at 10 and say, how do I make 11 with 10? 10 and 1. All right? You don't have to go 5 and 2. You don't have to go 5 and 2. All right? You're trying to make 11. So here we go. X and x plus 10 plus 1. X plus 10 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. Therefore what? Yes, x equals negative 10 or x equals negative 1. Any questions or concerns? Good, come on.
I can't understand.
I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Hold on. Can you see it better now?
No, I could. How did you get the x plus 10 and x plus 1?
Well, the factors of 10 that make 11. Right? We're going to do the smiley face, right? All right, so this is how much? 10 and 1 make it 11. You agree with that now? Okay, skip 10, skip 12. Uh-oh, 14. Put a star by 14. Just like our test. What's the problem here? Yes, so I have to factor out you have to factor out a negative. Right, when I factor out a negative, this negative here becomes a what?
Positive.
The 7 becomes a, and the x becomes a. Beautiful. Now what's common?
X minus 7.
So here we go. So now what? Miss Schulzman, you okay? Carly, you all right over there? So x is equal to what?
7.
Or
Negative 2.
negative 2 over 3. All right. Now I have 4 terms, so I'm going to do what? Factor by? Yep, factor by grouping. Here we go. So what's common? A. What's left behind?
X minus 2.
What's common?
X minus 3.
What type of 3? Negative 3. What's left behind?
X minus 2.
Thank you. What's common now? X minus 4. And then what? So now set the factors equal to 0. Or what? Or A can equal 3. All right, here we go. Let's have some more fun. 18. Not yet. What do I have to do first? Divide out the 4. Divide out the 4. GCF. Divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. X squared minus 9 equals 0. Everybody good on this? All right, so now what? X and X. What type of 3s? That is correct. Okay, set them equal to 0. Now watch. X equals, this is a quick way to write it. That's what that means. All right, we don't write X equals 3 and negative 3. We say X equals plus or minus 3. You put the plus right over the minus. So that's an indication that both those answers are correct. All right, now, does everybody hear me? This is called a quadratic. So how many solutions does it have? It's called the fundamental theorem of algebra. The exponent tells you the number of solutions. So in this question, number 20, how many solutions are there? 4. We have to find all 4. All right, we have to find all 4. So how do I factor this now? Good job. 2 sets of parentheses. What is it? X squared and X squared. Now I need a what? No. 9 and 1, because I'm trying to make what? 10. I'm trying to make 10. So I want minus 9 and minus 1. So now can I factor X squared minus 9? Yes. So that'll be X plus 3, X minus 3, then what? X plus 1. And then so now my answers are X is equal to negative 3, 3, negative 1, and 1. All right, now of course, if you're thinking ahead, you could just say plus or minus 3, plus or minus 1. And those are the what? 4 solutions. Those are the 4 solutions. So again, the name of the game is factor, 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 factor. Set the factors equal to 0. All right, 22 is easy. Oh, why is 24 easy? Because it's already what? It's already factored for us. It's already factored for us. All right? 26 has how many factors?
2.
How many factors? How many? 3. It's already factored. Set the factors equal to 0. X equals 0. 4x plus 1 equals 0. 7x minus 8 equals 0.
Why did you just multiplication?
Yeah, because they're all, say it again?
Multiplication and division separately? Or is there a division?
No, no division. All right. So now your answer still x equals 0, negative 1/4, positive 8/7. Does everybody see that? All right, you shouldn't really be lazy like that. So let me separate this again. So you should say x equals negative 1/4 and x equals what? 8/7. 28 is easy. Uh-oh. 30. What's the GCF?
2.
Now notice the difference here. If there's a variable involved, you got to factor it out. You can't divide out a variable. All right, so we're going to factor out a what?
2.
2a. What's left behind? A what?
Minus 4.
a minus 4. Now you set them individually equal to 0. 2a equals 0. A minus 4 equals 0. So divide both sides by 2. You still get what? 0. Right? Add 4. A equals 4. Everybody okay with that? All right, here we go. Uh-oh. What's the problem with 32?
It's backwards.
It's not set equal to 0. You have to set it equal to 0. So in order to set it equal to 0, what do I have to do to this 2x? Move it over. What do I have to do to this 24? Move it over. And when I move something, what happens to the sign? They change. So we say x squared, what? Minus 2x. Minus 24 equals 0. And now what do I do? X and x, factors of 24 that make 2. 6 and 4. What type of 6 and what type of 4?
Negative 6 positive 4.
Yep. Set them equal to 0. So x equals 6 or x equals negative 4. Everybody good? Everybody happy? All right. Uh-oh, 34. What do I have to do? Move it over. So we're just going to write x squared minus 49 equals 0. All right. Then we're going to go back later. You can do 36. Uh-oh. 38. Circle or star number 38. We have big problems here, right? It's not equal to 0, right? So the first thing I need you to pay attention to is I have to go ahead and distribute this out, guys. If I were to distribute that, that becomes what?
3x squared
Plus x equals x squared plus 6. Now what do I have to do? Move it over, which is minus x squared, right? If I do minus x squared, that leaves me how many x squareds? 2x squared. So I'm just going to put this over here like this just to make sure. I'm going to do it in 2 steps. 2x squared plus x equals 6. Now what do I have to do with the 6? Move it over. Minus 6. So now I have 2x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Everybody see that? And now do I factor that? Yes, you can actually. All right, so factor that. And then the next one is the what? The word problem. All right. So what I'm going to do now is we'll do number 39 together. All right, and then we'll do the rest of the word problems tomorrow. All right. What? No, I did not. All right. Well, we have 2 short weeks, so I don't think I can have a test next week. Here we go. Number 39. All right. What does sum mean? Adding. Now the question is, what are we adding? We're adding a what? A number and its square. So the number is what? X plus x squared. And I want that to equal what?
56.
Come on, guys. That's how easy the word problems are. It's just translating them into a quadratic. And then once we see the quadratic, you always got to set the quadratic equal to 0. All right? So now, to set this equal to 0, I have to move what? The 56 over to the left. When I move 56 to the left, it becomes what? Now notice I'm going to put it in the right order. X squared plus x minus 56 equals 0. Everybody with me on that? Now can I factor? Here we go. 2 sets of parentheses. X and x. What are the factors of 56 that make 1?
7 and 8.
7 and 8. So I put 7 and 8. All right, now what?
Plus 8 minus 7.
Minus 7, good, plus 8. So your options, x minus 7 could equal 0, or x plus 8 could equal 0. So x is equal to 7, or x could equal what? Negative 8. Everybody hearing me?
You have to move
Okay. Now, your job tonight, please work on the right side. Work on the right side. All right? All the even problems. Stopping at the word problem. All right? Stopping at the word problem. Nothing I can do. All right? The only way you get better at it is to practice. All right? You're doing the right side, doing the evens. What? Well, no. Just review it if you want. What?
That's what we're doing. So yes, that's what we're supposed to do.
The homework is the evens all the way down the page, except stop the word problems.
Are you gonna try with your try?
Yeah, I'm trying.
You nervous?
Ever.
Wow.